Kate, and I know he's a 3-year-old boy. He doesn't look like it. He's every bit as big and sort of hulking as the rest of them out there.
When he first came in, before I could see him clearly, I just saw Bay with a tiny speck, and I wondered if it was Sierra Leone.
Same.
And because of that, it makes me look at him again. I liked him all along, and then got to looking at speed figures. He's going to have to run faster than he's ever run before, but he's improved with every start of his life. Only 4 starts. Perhaps we haven't come close to seeing the best or gotten to the bottom of him. The 1.25 miles is the big question mark, I think, whether he's as effective as he was in the Goodwood, but he sure looked like he would be the type that could run on.
Yeah, I think every bit of the added distance will be his friend today, and he is at 20-1. Scott is with his trainer.
Well, trainer Bob Baffert has Nevada Beach, and he's gotten good here as of late. Is he ready for this test here this afternoon against this level of competition, Bob?
This is an extraordinary level of competition. I was looking at them all. They all look so good in here. This is a good field. I mean, Fierceness, he looks terrific. Forever Young looks terrific. Sierra Leone, they all look. Baeza look. I mean, they all look good. And we're just hoping, you know, the trip's going to down the inside. I think, Mike, we're trying to maybe follow Fierceness around there, hopefully, and stay up with him. But, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with the 4-horse, what's going on there. But, you know, just to be in a race like this and have your clients, he earned his way in there. And we know he can get to 1.25 miles. But, you know, he's going to have to get the right trip. And he's never run against this caliber of horses. But we're excited.
In all your years of coming to the Breeders' Cup, can you compare this group of classic runners to any in the past?
Oh, yeah. I remember Game On Dude. He had Uncle Mo and all those good horses. I mean, they're usually Zenyatta's here. There were good horses. It's tough. You know, they're just different kind of horses, you know. But this is a group of horses that a lot of them are, you know, they make it to the end. You know, usually at the end of the year, it's tough. You know, it's been a long campaign, but they all showed up.
Good luck today, Bob.
Thank you.
I love hearing that. A man that has won this race multiple times, just sharing the same sentiment that we all feel about this field. We are fans of these horses. We're here because we appreciate what they do and what they have done on this calendar year to lead us to this point. We'll quickly get in a few selections for you here as we approach post time. Do note you have 3 minutes to bring your wagers in the FanDuel Racing app. Here's a look at my top pick. I'm going to go with Mindframe in here. Todd Pletcher, 23% off the 61 to 180 day layoff over the past year. You could apply that to other horses as well that he trains in here, but Mindframe also has the fastest late pace figure of the field. I don't think he's going to be too far off the early pace either. Simon, there's some other multi-race wagers beginning here. Where are you going?
I'm jumping in the pick 4 pool, and it's quite healthy. If you look at the top right-hand corner of the screen there, nearly $2 million, 1-2-5-7. I hate to make choices in this race. All these horses do look good, and I think part of that is 6 of the 9 last raced in August. There's been a dramatic change in, you know, having a nice break into the Classic and kind of giving them a little freshening from that hard campaign. Race 10, 3, 4, 7, 10, 11. Very, very tough race in race number 10. That's the FanDuel Breeders' Cup Mile. I think there's all kinds of ways to go in there. Salam will be my European play in there. Nysos was one of my best bets of the day in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. He just looks so good. His form is good. I'll be paying attention to how Mindframe runs here. It could be indicative of the chances of Nysos. And then 6, 9, 11, 14. See the Fire will be my top pick. Bad Post. Good form on the outside in the Breeders' Cup filly mare turf for Andrew Balding. That's a filly that ran second in the Prix de l'Opera ARC weekend.
$2 million in climbing that pick 4 pool. 2 minutes to get your wagers in for this Breeders' Cup Classic. Now 1 minute until post time. Inside post position for Fierceness. He is your current 3-1 favorite right now. Kate, and I'm curious, we sort of heard Bob Baffert saying we're going to follow Fierceness around there. Do you think that's how it's going to shake out in terms of contrary thinking Fierceness Nevada Beach, or would you reverse those second 2?
No, I really think in a perfect world, we get over the first hump out of the starting gate, crossing onto the main track. Fierceness will be sitting forwardly, saving ground along the inside. The beauty of him, though, is that he has shown now as a mature horse that he can settle. He has very good early speed, but he also doesn't have to use it, and I think that is going to be key. So, yeah, I do think it may very well go that way. The problem for me is that if Fierceness is in that position all the way around, he may have a hard time getting room when he needs it to kick on. And that could enable someone else who's running late or just a little bit later to get the jump. I'm curious to see who stays closest, though, to the pace setter. Contrary thinking in a perfect world breaks sharply, goes to the front. Yeah, Fierceness is right behind him, but how close? And where's Mindframe in all this? Because he also is, to me, the only other horse that has enough speed to keep everything honest and to stay in contact to the pace setter. No one is going to want to let that pace setter get so far out in front that you can't reel him in.
Exactly. Florent Giroux, he's the key to this race, really, as far with a 50-1 shot. I know it sounds crazy, but I think what will happen if he does go so far in front, I think they'll ride the race. What will happen is they'll ride the race like he's not there and hope he comes back. And then the other thing, he's got to set just the fractions just enough, fast enough for Sierra Leone. If he goes too slow, he hasn't done his job.
Scan to bet now. Last few seconds, last few opportunities to get involved. Let's go up to Larry Colmus. It is a classic for the ages. $7 million on the line in the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic.
Baeza takes his position in the starting gate. Fierceness and Forever Young are in. Here's Nevada Beach. Contrary Thinking steps up to the starting gate. Next to stablemate Sierra Leone. Mindframe. Waiting for Journalism and Antiquarian. Journalism goes in. Antiquarian, the last one. Antiquarian is in. They're all in line. We're ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Baeza was off to a slow beginning. Fierceness goes out to the early lead and runs straight today and straight to the front. Contrary Thinking now moves up alongside of him, and Contrary Thinking will take the lead. Forever Young is close. He's right there on the outside, and Fierceness is down toward the rail. Then comes Mindframe and Antiquarian. Journalism is guided inside by Jose Ortiz. Nevada Beach is along the rail. Baeza is second last, leading only last year's winner Sierra Leone past the opening quarter mile in 23.04 seconds. So Contrary Thinking out there doing his job. He's in front by 2 lengths. Forever Young on the outside of Fierceness, second and third. Break of 2 to Nevada Beach, who's down toward the rail. Mindframe on the far outside. Journalism between those two, just 4 from the front. An Antiquarian, and it's 3 back to Sierra Leone and Baeza. 45.97 was the half mile, and with 5 furlongs to run, Contrary Thinking leads the field up the Breeders' Cup Classic in front by a half a length, with Forever Young right alongside. Mindframe just to the outside of them makes it 3 in a line. Fierceness just in behind with Journalism to his outside. Then Nevada Beach. Baeza, Sierra Leone between them, and Antiquarian is the trailer. Around the far turn, Forever Young pokes his head in front. Mindframe, and now Journalism confront. Sierra Leone was second, Fierceness was third, and a final time of 2 minutes, 0.19 seconds.
Japan takes the classic, the land of the rising sun, celebrates where the turf meets the surf. Forever Young, he was close to the pace, he was always in contention, stormed to the lead as they turned for home, Simon.
He was always in a perfect spot. He had Fierceness locked in down the inside. I said to Joe, I looked over leaving the half-mile pole, I said, Forever Young is traveling smoothly, and he's got Fierceness right where he wants to be, Joe. And he is, I mean, he ran to his looks. He was touting himself all week long, right up until he came in the paddock this afternoon.
I mean, we were talking about him all week, how he would come up to the set and actually stand here for a couple minutes. Just so cool, but what a trip he had.
There misses along the way, including last year's Classic. A picture-perfect trip for Forever Young. Fierceness on the inside maybe had to wait just a little bit longer to be able to make his run, but at the end of the day, I don't think anyone was beating Forever Young.
And I think at the end of the day, everybody got what they wanted, right? Journalism was closer like they wanted. Sierra Leone started moving earlier like they wanted. Forever Young was close to the pace and in contention. Baeza circling the field as he does. They all ran their race today. There wasn't a clear excuse for anybody. Forever Young was just best.
He was just best on a day where they went 23, 45 and change I would imagine those splits would be very happy for the connections of Sierra Leone. He came running, obviously a little quicker last year, but forever young, he's still improving. I mean, he pulled away from this group. Tremendous, tremendous performance.
And Christina makes such a great point. This was such a great race with us making a case for just about everybody in here. This is what you wanted to see. Everybody got the trip they wanted. The pace, as far as the horses coming from behind, was solid enough to where anyone, which we saw, was able to run into it. And just a great finish in the end.
And I think we have to go back to Kate and remember that Kentucky Derby where Sierra Leone and Forever Young were all over each other down the length of the stretch. There was a lot of talk about that bumping and that traffic trouble, and the sportsmanship from the Japanese horsemen on that day in defeat, in coming back here multiple times with this horse and sending him to the winner's circle today. This is a very fulfilling moment for them, and one that you feel like he deserved for the last 2 years.
For sure.
It's kind of what the Breeders' Cup was designed to do, to